everybody, I have Tom here.
I'm back.
He's back. Round number 2. Whenever we come to a convention, we hang out.
Yeah, this therapy session costs a lot.
Tom is here to talk with us about comfort eating.
I'm an expert. Can we get a wide shot, please?
But in all truth, I think it's something that a lot of people turn to as a way to cope. And I think that Tom has talked openly thus far about it, or no?
I don't even need to talk about it. Like, people can see, like, my weight fluctuates on camera so frequently, and it's always been the case.
I guess my first question is, do you remember when you first started using food? To soothe? Is that the right word? Or
I think so, yeah. I think I was about 9 years old. I had a really, really horrible teacher who was, like, made an example of me. Like, I knew I was a bit of a fidgety child. This was about a time in my life when I got diagnosed with ADHD. It was an incorrect diagnosis, but still, I was that's like how like much of a disruptive fidgety student I was. But this teacher really had it out for me, and I just started eating. The food good. And I was a very skinny, very active child until then, but then, suddenly I went to being chubby. And, that would then evolve into getting bullied because you're chubby.
So it's like a
and
terrible
it just becomes
snowball.
and you're like, oh, I've been bullied because I've been bullied, I'm going to eat more. And and that's just been the relationship I've had with food kind of ever since. And I've yo-yo dieted and there's been about 4 stages in my life where I've like almost successfully got to a weight I'm happy with, and then gained all the weight back again and stuff. And like each time I gain, I actually get heavier than I ever was before. I have a very, very bad relationship with food.
How was it? I'm just curious because now I'm therapist Katie mode. How was it at home with your family? Like, does anybody else in your family use food?
Both my parents comfort eat, and both of them have a very complicated relationship with food as well. My dad does a lot of like manual labor, and he just like eats sugar like to keep his mood up and to work, and so he's always had that relationship with food. My mum as well copes through food, so we were just a food eating family. And both my parents, the only time they've ever successfully lost weight has been doing these like ketosis diets, where you basically don't really eat much, and it puts your body into sort of a starvation mode.
That's what I'm gonna say. Ketosis is bad. I mean, it's bad.
It's a valid method of dieting as long as the aftercare is appropriate, in which you learn to then like eat properly, or else what will happen is you will just immediately gain all the weight again.
Yeah, yo back
Which
up.
is what's happened to me. Like, I've done a couple ketosis diets, but I've blown it at about the halfway point and then just gone nom, 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 nom.
Yeah.
And my body's like, oh, cool, we're not starving anymore. Better hold all this fat for the next time we're going to starve.
Yeah.
And then I'll get even heavier, and it's...
It's got to be hard, though, to be truthful. Like, I think... Have you ever worked with a dietitian or a nutritionist?
I have.
Did that help at all?
It did. It did for about 6-7 months. That's always like how long I last. I had a personal trainer and a dietitian, and I actually got in really good shape. Here's a photo. I still wasn't I still wasn't quite there, but I was very nearly there, and that's actually the exact point at which my mental health started to crumble.
Oh, when your friend passed away?
No. It was actually so my friend passed away, and I kind of just got into this zone. And I was like really, I was in denial. So I was working through the grief. And part of that was exercising, dieting. And then about a year after he died, I tripped and fell and never recovered, like mentally and physically. Like, that's when like my really toxic relationship with food started, where alcohol was introduced into the mix. And I do honestly see them as one and the same.
Yeah.
This is like the most alcoholic thing to say, but I can quit whenever I want with alcohol, genuinely, because I don't see it it doesn't register as alcohol. It registers as just more food.
So it's more like a hand-to-mouth sort of thing.
So like I stopped drinking sometimes for months at a time, and that's really easy, but it's more just like I don't know how to do anything between nothing and everything.
I was gonna say, it sounds very black and white.
I'm either like dieting hardcore or stuffing my face every 5 seconds.
Yeah. But have you been in therapy? I'm asking
Not for
but
that.
I already know that.
Not for that. No.
And I think that's the message I think I want people to receive. And it all depends too, like on specializations. Because I happen to specialize in eating disorder work, as many of you know. And I think that a lot of therapists, a lot of people don't understand our relationship with food. Something that I learned recently that I found really fascinating is in trauma work. Like the trauma specialist I had on, Alexa, talked about how as children, we as babies, we're taught to be soothed with food. Because we cry when we're hungry and we're fed and we're soothed. And so the sucking and swallowing, like the actual swallowing, it soothes us. Like our system, if we feel lots of anger, our amygdala is like, woo, woo, sending the fire alarm. And it's like making us feel like, enraged. Yeah. And then food soothes that siren.
Yeah, what really took me from being like chubby / fat to like obese, which is really the territory I've definitely strayed into, was the addition to alcohol. Because food was always how I would cope with being sad, but then alcohol is how I coped with being depressed. Because, and when I get into manic mental states, like when I drink, everything slows down and I can focus on one thing, and that isn't the thing that's upsetting me in my head. It's not myself. It would help me veg out. I'd like to say it did. I'd like to talk past tense, but it's my life.
Yeah.
And it's just like, this is just basic human nature. When I drink, my inhibitions get lowered, and guess what I want to do? Eat. I'm not the kind of guy who drinks and then cheats on his girlfriend or anything like that. I cheat on my diet like crazy. So, my mental health will get bad, and I have one or two options. Eat food to feel better, or drink alcohol to feel better. But then when I drink alcohol, I eat food anyway.
Yeah.
So food's going in my mouth.
No matter what happens, food's going in the mouth.
Yeah. Is this video going to go anywhere? Or is it just going to be like, here's how Tom is bad at food?
No, it'll go somewhere. I'm going to take it there right now.
Please, Katie, help me.
Insert segues. So regardless of how you feel, what's happening, if you're feeling like shit in any way, if your mental health is terrible or declining, food.
It's food. It's not, it was food before I even had mental health issues, and it's food now.
Yeah. Have you ever tried, because the thing that I work on with my clients most is trying to find other coping skills. They're not great. You hate them at the beginning. They're not as good as the food. But are there any things that you put in place, like, okay, before I go home and comfort eat, I'm going to try blank, blank, blank?
Yeah, staying at work so late that all the takeout places closed.
Oh.
It's genuinely something that I've done sometimes.
Yeah.
And that's not an option, work till 11 p.m. But, like, burying myself in my work is something to think that that's not another healthy coping mechanism.
Yeah, what about a way of getting stuff out? Like, all that you're feeling. Do you have an outlet? Like,
screaming.
Yeah, screaming is good. No, I think screaming is great.
Oh, yeah, no, I tried. Yeah, sure. But it's... I got nothing. I got no idea, really, like, of a more effective idea. I just like eating food.
That's okay. There's no shame in it. I think it's figuring out and finding something that works for you. And in truth, you all know this, but like 5 healthy coping skills or so, maybe less, maybe more, to squash that one unhealthy one.
Such as?
So something that you could try would be calling a friend, girlfriend, somebody, talk about your day, talk about what was happening. I feel like shit, blah, blah, blah. That's sure. Okay. Doing some kind of art that's not related to work.
I don't even know what that means anymore.
But maybe that's the problem.
Okay.
You've taken your one outlet and you've turned it into work versus letting it be cathartic for you. And that could be, I don't know. I know you do cartoons and stuff. It could be maybe that.
Yeah.
Some people, it's music, like finding a playlist that they feel expresses it. Screaming is actually a good one. Screaming in your car. I told Hannah to do that. And she's like, but I scare myself. And I'm like, but I think it's healthy.
Sure.
So those are just some of the ideas. A lot of things could be self-care related too, like things that you like to do that don't involve food, like going to a certain movie or a certain show or spending time with certain people. Or, for me, I enjoy not having anything to do for a day, and I walk around with my earbuds in, listen to music, and maybe go get my toes done. So what would your ideal day look like?
Oh gosh. Socializing is obviously a very valid option, but socializing entails food. People eat.
We do. But you can still eat.
It's eating the right amount is so hard. That's the thing. That's what I don't know how to do is moderate.
Something that I've talked about on other videos is about like hunger fullness cues. Because often when we either undereat or overeat or use food to cope in some fashion, we don't connect with our body anymore. It's more emotional.
Yeah. Oh yeah, totally. I know that I need to drink more water. That's a thing. Like so much of hunger is based on actual thirst.
Yeah.
And I don't, and like I drink, so it's like it makes it worse. It gets me even more thirsty. So I need to drink more water. Like that's like the number one thing that I don't do is drink. Like that's how my friends can support me, is just keep giving me water.
Yeah.
Just
or like
keep me
as a
hydrated.
goal, like because I always like to, like if someone comes to my office, I never am a huge fan of like, here's a ton of things you should do, because they always be like, fuck that, I'm out. Done with this. But instead it's like small achievable goals. So something you could try would be like, this week I'm going to try to drink 3 glasses of water a day. I mean, I don't know how bad your intake is, but I usually start with like 1 to 3.
Yep. 1 would be a good start.
Yeah, so no joke, and that's okay to meet you where you're at, right? Like, so if we did 1 or 2 a day, the goal being 1, 2 being like 5 gold stars for you, Tom, yay! We can go there, but then also like the one time you want to binge or you want to eat to cope, you call a friend first.
Sure.
I mean, that would be like for starters. But I think part of it's changing the conversation with yourself.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to be on a diet. I actually don't believe in diets at all. I think that it's more about your relationship with food and you at least finding a way that feels good for you to talk about it, and maybe you'll have 3 bites less. And then maybe you won't go right to it right away. You'll call a friend for. I mean, it's all small steps, because I think the thing about any kind of eating and food is we go black and white. We go all or nothing. We're in or we're out. We're either not eating anything, we're eating everything. And I know that life is more in the middle. And we all have to eat. That's the difference about like, I'm sober, I don't do drugs. It's like, you don't need those to survive, but we need food to survive. And so healing the relationship that you have with food is like more where I'm headed versus you need to be on a diet and lose weight, because that's not the truth.
Yeah. I mean, okay, so like I've been dieting so much of my life that I know the things I actually need to be doing. 1, I need to be drinking water so that I am less hungry. 2, I need to go shopping and actually have a stocked fridge full of healthy things that I can reach for, so that I don't feel the urge or the need or either the financial need to take out. And also, 3, on top of that, I can potentially budget my finances so that I have a limited amount of money to spend on food to begin with, so I'm more incentivized to buy food and
make it at home,
like buy brown rice and stuff. 4, you've got to eat often and little, right? Like, so instead of having 3 hearty meals, just eat. Is it when you're hungry, or is it just at regular intervals? But like, just eat small amounts.
It's supposed to be.
I know all this stuff in theory.
I know, and it's okay. It's all part of what feels right for you. There's really no set thing that we have to do, but they prefer, especially if we're healing from like an eating disorder in total. Like when I worked in the eating disorder clinic, it was eating every 3 to 4 hours. Right. So it'd be 3 meals and 3 snacks every day.
Okay.
And so it actually gives us a lot of leeway to find things that work and to find what snacks we like and how big a meal will be. Because if you start listening to your body and you start like growing that conversation with your body about hunger, fullness, then at times you'll be like, I'm not actually hungry. Like I actually did just eat, and so you'll kind of find that happy medium. But it takes practice, like everything. It takes a little bit of practice.
But it feels good.
I know. But you can find other things that feel good.
Yeah.
It's true. It can get better. Well, thanks for sharing your story, Tom.
I'm helping.
You always help. Didn't he help? Please leave in the comments, let us know what are some coping skills and things that you do to help you stop comfort eating or binge eating that can help Tom or someone else.
I'll be in the comments. I'll read these. I'm out of ideas.
Yeah, because sometimes we just need someone else to give us a little tip to get us started. And we need a video over on Tom's channel, so make sure you check that out. Click here to subscribe, and we will see you next time. Bye!